is a very close game at the end of 40. It's 6-4 to the Black and Whites. Huddersfield restart. Danny Bruff's deep kick-off is right underneath the sticks, and McDonald passes the ball to his left-hand side, and immediately they get the penalty. Was that a high shot by Dale Ferguson? It was.
Yes, it certainly was, and he'll be displeased with Paul Anderson. That is the sort of thing you try to avoid, especially from the kick-off. Puts you on the back foot.
The real poor tackle technique, wasn't it, from Dale Ferguson? There's a lot of the player under his chin, and he never attempted to get his shoulder onto any part of it. Real loose arm, both feet off the floor. Not in a malicious way, just a sloppy way to approach a tackle. And going into that first half, the ball was in play for the majority of the first half. If we get that again in the second half, we're in for a humdinger of a finish to this match. For Huddersfield, I didn't think they quite took enough of the opportunities that they created. But as far as Hull FC are concerned, I think they made the most of the limited field position that Huddersfield allowed them to have. How that transpires now into the second half and who breaks first is going to be very interesting to watch.
Well, it's Hull who are examining the Huddersfield defence first in this second half. That's Houghton. He gets the ball away to Whiting. Whiting looks for the runners. It's Horn. Horn then gives it to Holsworth. Holsworth finds McDonald, who's chimed in. Here's the last tackle for Hull. The first completed set of 6 of this second half. High crossfield kick. Who wants it? Murphy again. And great chase and great work by Hull FC, but Murphy stays the right side of the whitewash. I wonder what was said at half-time, Rod.
Well, Eddie, it's not always you can say that both coaches pretty much pleased with what happened during the first half, but both of them are pretty pleased. Paul Anderson pleased that his side has stuck to the script, stuck to the game plan, and wants them just to keep doing what they're doing, because he believes that Hull will crack first in the second half after what really was an arm wrestle in the first period. As far as Peter Gentle and Hull FC are concerned, very pleased as well, because they again stuck to the game plan, kept things tight, weren't too ambitious in that first half. Just want to tweak the kicking game a bit, because there were 3 or 4 times where they kicked the ball dead for 20-metre restarts. That's something to work on for Hull.
It's Huddersfield who get to the kick here, courtesy of Scott Griggs. And Briscoe has it for the Black and Whites. And now you can't let Briscoe run with it. And he gets over halfway. That's the first tackle.
Yeah, they were very reluctant, weren't they, the Huddersfield defence, to get themselves involved.
Young Tom Lyman. He goes down on tackle number 2. There goes Danny Houghton in again. The ball is with Richard Horn now. Well, it is with Josh Bowden.
Sorry, Eddie. If they get into a position again, Hull, surely they're not going to keep kicking to Aaron Murphy. He's just taken everything. At least have a go for Jermaine McGilvray, see what he can come up with.
For me, there's a big question now when Hull FC are in this position. Good field position, got strike options. They just look a little bit one-dimensional for me. Everything's going to come off Daniel Holsworth. That may make it a little bit easier to read for the Huddersfield Giants.
Well, the knock-on was by Crooks. He got the ball, hit the deck, and they tried to get a quick counter-attack going, but they gave the ball back. Did Huddersfield to the Black and Whites. Watch this, and so it will come back for the original offence.
Yeah, it was good work by the centre, Leroy Cudjoe. He really applied the pressure. That's the reason why they couldn't take it in. See, the centre just got his body in the way. It's going to take something skillful to break down the defences, and they really have battered it.
Yes, it's been all muscle and brawn so far, hasn't it? But I do get the feeling, and I felt it towards the end of the first half, it has got to open up, surely. They can't keep this pace up, can they, in defence from now to the end?
Not right to the end, but I think it's going to be the final quarter that'll decide this game.
I think
that's a
possibly
good kick.
Hull,
great kick from Danny Bruff.
Hull possibly could, Eddie. The defence this season has been the strongest part of the game. There's no side with a better ranking for tackle success than the last 4 rounds than Hull. They've missed very few tackles, but have they got the ability in attack to convert their chances into points? Because, of course, they will have to score if they want to win this match.
We've had 4.5 minutes of the second half. It's been nip and tuck from start to finish, and that's why we have the scoreline we have of 6 points to 4. Just one defeat for Hull in their first 9 of last year. They made the playoffs, but after beating Huddersfield in week just trying to work out how many weeks it was. But anyway, they faded out towards the back end of the season, and out they went in the playoffs at Warrington. They made the playoffs, they got through the first round, but then they went out to Warrington, and it was Huddersfield they beat in week 1. That's what I'm trying to tell you. McDonald with good feet, and he skipped away from a couple, and the little stab towards the in-goal area. It was a missed kick, but it's come up for them, I think. And Ben Crooks has come up with a try for Hull. Big smile on the young man's face. It wasn't the most classy. In fact, players were overrunning the kick all over the shop. But Peter Gentle won't be worried about that, and Crooks was the first to react in the end. And Ben Crooks goes over for a try, and Huddersfield and Hull rather have the lead.
Well, it was wonderful work, wasn't it? It was Holdsworth that put the ball back on the inside, put the kick through, and they've come up trumps. Back on the inside, good work from the full-back. He couldn't get to it, Richard Horne, and you can see there Jermaine McGilvray had gone past it, and the centre Ben Crooks said, "It's a gift, but I don't mind, I'll take it." And surely this will be easy for the conversion for Daniel Holdsworth.
Well, you would think so. That was a right schmozzle, wasn't it? Richard Horne got, well, he got a thigh on it rather than a boot. And Holdsworth does add the extras. It doesn't matter how scruffy you score the tries, so long as you get them. And that's exactly what Hull have done, and they're ahead at the start of this second half.
Well, we saw in the first half the Huddersfield Giants, they went for broke with trying to go on the power play, not go for the kick. And the first time that the black and whites try it, little wonder there's big smiles on all the faces, especially this fella, Ben Crooks. What a vital 4-pointer.
I think he was embarrassed, but I don't think it matters now.
I think Hull had to come up with something different. I think it's surprised Huddersfield that they attempted that play from deep, turned the ball back on the inside, on that middle channel goal forward, and caught Huddersfield out. Luke Robinson bounced off a tackle. He'll need, and he's betting that he needs to be able to make sure when he comes in on that inside line in defence that he actually sticks onto his opponent and doesn't let him break through and be able to make that play and take it further down the field.
Westerman trying to bring it forward, but Wardle and company seeing to it. Danny Brough was underneath, seeing to it that he can't make too much progress. There's McDonald again, he finds Holdsworth. Holdsworth then turns it back on the inside. That's the 4th tackle gone. Huddersfield desperate to keep Hull penned inside their own half. Houghton gives the ball again to Bowden. And he will play it.
With good work as well by Danny Houghton. He really has been influential.
And the kick from Holdsworth doesn't find touch, and that's probably exactly what he wanted, because look at the chase from Houghton.
Well, Scott Griggs will be furious at this fella. Jermaine McGilvray, he was looking for it, saying, "Come on and help me." He could have offloaded there. They've fallen asleep, I'm afraid, of the Giants.
43 tackles so far against the name of Danny Houghton. He's running his blood to water, and that's probably 44 because he was involved in that one. Here is David Fayumu running laterally, now he'll straighten it.
But he's got the ability, this fella, Fayumu. Likes to do the step and throw the dummy.
Robinson pumps the ball into the air, but it's too easy that for Tom Briscoe. McGilvray and Cudjoe deal with the threat. Something for Anderson to think about here.
Well, it's lifted the spirits, hasn't he, of the visitors. It was a fluky try, but as you say, it's not how they appeared. It's whether you get them up on the scoreboard.
Exactly, and the black and whites have hit the front for the first time. Looking to capitalise on that now. Bowden again.
And they're in a good position to be able to utilise the kicking game as well. Or messing around. He's saying he was held.
Well, Ferris pinched the ball.
I think it might have been given to him.
It was 2 in the tackle initially, so that's a penalty. There's Ferris, there's another one down the feet. It's the 4th penalty of the match, and all 4 have gone to Hull.
Couple of warning signs now for the Huddersfield Giants. More a test of character for mine than technique and tactics. First time in the game they've been under any real pressure. It's gone their way. Hull FC have turned the ball over. That's a sin as far as Hull FC are concerned. Loose carry on a ball. You've got to take your chances if you're going to carry it in one hand into a collision with three defenders in front of you. It's not worked for them. Maybe a little bit of breathing space now for the Huddersfield Giants. First time in the game for me. They look like they're under a little bit of pressure, look like they're being tested, and a little bit fortuitous that they've got the ball back in their hands.
Murphy plays it to Brough. Brough then pops it up. Big hit. Horn was low and Kopczak couldn't get away from him.
Well, this is where Danny Brough has to start saying, I'm taking receiver. In the first half, he was out wide. There he is, that's where he needs to be.
And he goes to the air with the left-footed kick. Briscoe's under this. Briscoe's safe.
Was he ever? That was heavy traffic. Eyes on the ball at all time. Never took his eyes off it. That was great stuff. But it was a better high kick there by Danny Brough. In that first half, Brough was utilising out wide. Luke Robinson turned first receiver. They're behind on the scoreboard, and he has got to start taking control now.
Well, he got 269 points last year, his best tally in a season with a Super League club. And he got a try and 4 goals against the Leeds Rhinos last week when he absolutely kicked them to death. And he needs to up the ante a bit, does Danny, in the second half here. We've got half an hour left, just less. And it's Holsworth with that kick, and it's
not the best.
Very well read by Scott Griggs.
Peter Gentle, the Hull coach, will be furious at that. They've taken the lead. It really should have been pushed into the corner. Pressure, turn that tourniquet. Just cut them off.
McGilvray will play the ball. Here goes Crabtree. The big man's back. Fayumu is the dummy half, finds Robinson. Robinson drops it off to Brough. Short ball from him. Good defence, though, from Richard Horn. Brett Ferris plays it. Fayumu again. And here comes Stuart Fielden. The big guns have been trundled out once more by Paul Anderson. Crabtree and Fielden. They started with them up front. Here goes the kick again off Brough's left boot. He's after it, trying to place everyone onside. Very well claimed by McDonald, but he took that from one side of the whitewash and went the other side. So it's a goal line dropout that they've forced.
Great kick.
Came
Great
from
take.
the field of play to collect it. He can't believe it, McDonald, but he did.
He's got it spot on. He said that he was in the field of play, but I think he might be right. The official.
But the ball is on the chest of McDonald.
Well, there's a ball carrying arm. Does it hit the deck at any given time?
No.
No, you're right.
Crabtree on the charge for the Giants.
And he's lifted the crowd here.
He has. He's a huge favourite in this part of the world, Big Earl.
They've been very subdued of the Giants fans.
Here's Fielden again, trying to barge his way through them. Only 2 games he played in the last 2 years with the Wigan Warriors. And here he is now in Super League 18 with the Huddersfield Giants. This is Ferguson.
We tried to offload there.
He did. That could have been a loose carry. He hangs on to it, though. And Fayumu steps over the grounded Galea, gives it to Crabtree. And Crabtree gets it away to Fayumu. He bounces off McDonald once, twice, 3 times. Here's Griggs. Good work by Westerman. Scragged him to the ground. Fayumu. It's Robinson. They come back this way with Ferguson. Hull are waiting for them. Crabtree. Good hands. Brough dancing. Gets it away again. A drive in was by Jamie Cording. Brough once more. Come wide. They do. And it's Murphy. Aaron Murphy. He's been big in defence and he had to be brave in attack then because the artillery was moving in. And he kept them at bay and he touched down in the corner. Arundel did all he knew to try and get him out. and push him over the whitewash. And Murphy went low and gets the try.
Well, this is where they got the dropout. He tried his damnedest, didn't he, McDonald? They got to him in the end. Danny Brough missed him. But this is a wonderful example of a long ball out wide and then the flick from the centre. And Aaron Murphy, as Eddie has said, he has diffused everything that's thrown in the air to him. What a great tip on. What a wonderful, wonderful finish. He's had a big night, Aaron Murphy. Good stuff. Great finish, fully deserved. But it was a build-up before that just kept going and going and going. They would not refuse to play the ball. They just kept it alive.
And the rain falling now in West Yorkshire as Brough lines up this kick to give Huddersfield the lead again, and he does. Sensational kick from Danny Brough that makes a magical fall from Aaron Murphy into 6, and Huddersfield grab the lead back again.
The last time we saw the Hull side play on Sky, it was relatively easy for the Vikings to score against them. That hasn't been the case tonight. The Huddersfield side had to produce something special there, and Aaron Murphy was on the end of that. You know, that was the end of a second consecutive set. Don't forget the goal line dropout set the field position, and in this game you've had to build some pressure and wait on the repeated set. The tackle success has been pretty good for Hull, and in fact the stats would suggest that Hull would slightly be in front, but with Danny Brough's creativity and the skill on show out there, Huddersfield are slightly the leaders at present.
Well, the lead lasted around about 9-10 minutes, and Huddersfield have wrestled it back off them. Certainly the whole try lifted the Giants.
Yeah, it certainly did, and they knew they had to get into the game. Remember, they were subdued when, oh, he got it in time. They were subdued, the fans here, they lifted it, and you've got to put a lot of credit on the big fella, Earl Crabtree. He touched that ball 3 times, but kept it alive.
And I think it's very important now for Hull FC not to panic. I know they've just conceded a try, but they didn't do an awful lot wrong. They scrambled exceptionally well then when Huddersfield were refusing to die in the tackle, promoting the ball at every opportunity. It was only that they ran out of space. Brilliant little flick pass from the left centre to the left wing that finally allowed Huddersfield to get across the try line. For Hull, hold your nerve, keep going forward, keep playing behind the kicking game of Daniel Holdsworth, get Huddersfield down the other end and see if they can defend under pressure.
Well, Jermaine McGilvery has just had a bit of treatment on the run. He's gone out again onto the far side. There he is. Maybe it was a finger in the eye or something, but he certainly had some problems. That's a great ball from Whiting to Houghton. Here come the Black and Whites again with Richard Horne. Richard Horne has seen a gap.
Just didn't have the pace. Got to him, Joe Wardle.
And it was Wardle who got that wonderful pass away for the try from Murphy in the corner. So everybody out there tonight is doing their stuff. Aaron Murphy in defence and attack.
He's not 100% Jermaine McGilvery, because he would have got to that ball a lot quicker.
No, he's got a bang on the head by the looks of things. And this is a clash of heads with Andy Lynch. And Andy Lynch's melon is quite hard, there's no doubt about that.
Well, a few minutes ago we saw a goal line dropout, didn't we? We saw a goal line dropout that led to a try at one end of the field. It took something special. Hull now have an opportunity to try and reply. It's a massive kick from Brough inside the opponent's half, but Lynch charges it back.
And in response to the question, how on earth would you know whether this man's melon is hard or not? He hasn't moved, and Jermaine McGilvery has had treatment twice. This is Gallier.
Good sign for Hull on that previous set of 6 that Richard Horne looks like he's growing in confidence. Maybe not got the pace he had 10 years ago, but it was a great show and go, made half a break through the line, and they look like they've got a little bit more than just Daniel Holdsworth when Hull are in good ball.
That was a great ball and all tackle on McDonald by Murphy again. Just slowed the momentum up slightly for the Black and Whites. Lynch bounces off an untidy pass, but it finds its way to Whiting. Brough's after Whiting. Still going is Whiting, gets it away. This is Ben Crooks. Oh, this game is, something's going to crack in the last 20 minutes.
Well, we said fatigue would surely set in the final quarter.
Holdsworth, here's Horne, becoming more and more influential, Richard Horne. And held up just short of the line on the last tackle. Now then,
the dribble kick, it's got to be on into the in-goal area.
Houghton, there it is. Bounces one way and the other. Must have been. It's a penalty.
Offside.
It's a penalty for offside.
That's a big call there.
Offside
by
on the line. And split markers, he says now.
Yeah, they weren't standing square.
You've got to get on the line and you can't stand side by side. So take your pick.
Yep.
And that's 12 consecutive plays now that they've been in their opponent's half. He's kicked it back. I don't understand the logic in that, but
well, I'll give
I'm
you
sat in the commentary box and they're on the field, so I'll go to his wisdom. But kicked it back, and they'll run it back here now to just about the point where it was kicked from.
Quite a lot of teams do that, Phil, in regards to that they like to give themselves a little bit more space, gives them a chance to get the ball out wide.
They could do that though and advance the mark, couldn't they? And leave the Huddersfield players on their own line. Anyway, academic, because they're back almost where they started from, but on the other side of the field. So close, and only 2 tackles gone. Houghton. Good work by Ferguson, and Robinson in there as well.
It had to be as well, because Houghton was poaching that one.
Galea with the pass to Holsworth. This is Lynch, hands off one, Holsworth again. Whiting, Richard Whiting. He trying to hand off Joe Wardle, but Huddersfield sticking to him like a limpet mine.
Richard Horne getting more and more involved.
That ball's come back, and brilliantly too. Whiting picks up the pieces. Here is Westerman, waiting for the tackle to come in at him, and it does eventually. Down he goes. Last one here for Hull. Houghton and Holsworth. Good ball, McDonnell. Good defence.
Yeah,
good attack. Good defence.
Not so sure that Peter Jennell, the coach, was happy with it, but that was fantastic stuff. You've got to give credit. Leroy Cudjoe especially.
Huddersfield fans are going crazy. They say that Hull are all offside to play the ball, but not according to the referee.
And this is impressive here. There's a pass and the tackle. The try-saver. Was it Robinson down low? Just slowed him enough. But Hull's concentration now is in compressing here as fast as they can on the Giants. Don't allow them out of that 20 metres on. They've just got over the line. 4 players already gone.
Hull have been squeaky clean all night in the penalty department. They've not conceded a single penalty, Hull. They've received 5. And Brough with a crossfield kick, and it was well watched all the way by Briscoe.
Yeah, superb play there by Briscoe, the winger. Anticipated, could see that Danny Brough was getting himself on the outside, got the left boot away, got back in time. This is a battle royal. It could go anyway.
It's a slugfest, isn't it? It really is.
But as I say, remember when Hull scored their try, okay, they had a little bit of luck, but it came about from the kick. And you get the feeling that to beat this Giants defence, they're going to have to come up with a kick to do it again.
You've got to praise the fitness levels and discipline of both sides. Referee Phil Bentham.
The pass from Lynch was forward.
And he knows
the forward pass.
And he knows it too. And that is poor play.
Well, that's a very similar play to the forward pass from Hull in the first half. Prop forward tip on to a fellow prop forward, just not having the correct skill under this type of fatigue and pressure to execute that play. I was just about to say that the referee Phil Bentham taking them back a very healthy 10 metres. Looks more like 11 or 12 to me than 9 or 8. And players are really struggling to get back on side now and keep with this.
Further evidence of the toughness of Andy Lynch's head. McGilvray now is wearing a bandage.
Well, you've only got to look at some of the stats, Ed, to just realise that how tough this has been in defensive side. And there's the bandaged winger. Is that there's only been 5 breaks, 3 from Huddersfield and 2 from Hull. And that means defences are well and truly on top.
Oh, you're right, Mike, and we're on the hour, just over the 60 minutes. This is get tough time. You are exhausted. The lactic acid is bubbling around the bodies of these players now, and you've just got to push your way through it. You know, it's not about science, it's not about extra preparation, it's about being in pain and getting through this process. The real interesting one now is going to be which player quits, who gives up, who is exposed by his opponent number.
Brough stabs the ball to the corner.
A brilliant kick.
McDonald is after it again and gets it. And that looked a little bit high as well from young Joe Wardle.
It certainly did. The full-back got up and had a look at the touch judge and said, "Did you not see that?"
Wigan Widnes next Saturday, 5:30 2HD. And Sunday, next Saturday and Sunday next week, we're Hull KR Castleford on Sunday evening at 6 on 1HD. So the end temporarily of the fantastic Friday. Now a wonderful weekend.
Great hit there by the little fella, Luke Robinson. Hull have tried to find a weakness out there in the two half-backs, Danny Brough and Luke Robinson in defence, but they've stood firm.
We got to the last tackle, Hull, still deep inside their own half though. And Murphy just waits, takes his time, watches it all the way, and has to take the tackle from Westerman and Richard Horne.
I think Hull have had the better of the field position in this second half, but you know, just a bit of a sea change here. I think in the last moment or two, Huddersfield through that kick with Danny Brough, and the fact here now that, well, Hull, I'm not so sure whether they've just hit a temporary lull.
Must be like running a marathon, this, mustn't it? You hit the wall after about 20 miles.
It absolutely is, Eddie. It's not what you do when you feel good in this game, it's what you do when you're absolutely exhausted.
Here they come with Wardle. He's got support inside him from Ferris. Ferris back to Wardle. A wonderful Huddersfield try. That had league leaders stamped all over it. Outstanding from the Huddersfield Giants. Well, if they hit the wall of 20 miles, they've just burst through it and they can see the finish line. It has been long bursting stuff. And Wardle and Ferris combining.
And for the first time during this game, the combination of the two half-backs, Brough and Robinson, has finally got it out wide under the centre. Back on the inside. Maybe I thought it would have been better to get to Aaron Murphy first time, but Wardle finished it off. We said it would take something special, and it certainly was. The beautiful offload there by the fullback, Scott Griggs. Then the centre said, "I'll go up and take it again," and Wardle starts it, finishes it, combination.
Well, that's Joe Wardle with the try, the third try that he scored on this ground so far this season. Joe Wardle, he's only scored 4. Brough, you did it before, Danny, they say, do it again, he can't.
It's a pity that, Ed, isn't it? 6 passes deserve 6 points. That was great rugby to watch. And they've shown that they've got the speed and the skill to hurt opponents from quite a range out here. Robinson sets it off, doesn't he? Straightens up to hold the line, roughs the link to get it even wider. Then Wardle pierces through the hole, finds the support on the inside, and yet Hull's effort to get back, very admirable. They force another pass before they dive in the corner.
It's only a 6-point margin. We've had 5 drawn Super League matches in the opening 6 rounds. If Hull get over for another converted try, are we in for another?
I'm so pleased as a neutral that try was scored on the back of exceptional skill. That line from the left centre of Huddersfield was exquisite. It was absolutely top draw. Young Tom Lynham read it, he just couldn't get there, and then he never gave up. He tracked that.
First penalty is greeted with the roars of approval from the Huddersfield Giants supporters. This is the first penalty they've had all night.
Well, Richard Whiting took an eternity to get over them. You've got to roll away. No chance for Jermaine McGilvray to get up and play that ball. But I must say, the few occasions that we've had the opportunity, and we keep talking about the not many breaks, is the way that Scott Griggs came into the line at the very wonderful moment and made one step and offloaded. That created the gap for
16-10 and 11.5 minutes remaining, and here come Huddersfield again. Short ball once more to Ferris, trying to exploit what must be a tiring Hull defence, and here's a penalty that they might just take the 2 from.
I think they will.
Danny Brough can kick from this range.
Yeah, it wasn't the best there. I was thinking you could see that, oh, did he lose it?
It's deemed to be a ball steal.
At first I thought he might have been given for the flop. Richard Horne coming through. He's had a wonderful second half as Richard Horne.
His hand's on it, isn't it? He messes around with it, he does.
Certainly gets a fingertip to it, and this is the right option as well. We saw Paul Anderson raise the 2 fingers, say we'll take it. This fella knows, even if it misses, that it will go dead in goal. They will get possession back if he does not chalk up the extra 2 points.
Well, they've waited nearly 70 minutes for their first penalty, Huddersfield, and they've now got 2 in as many minutes. And this one to stretch the Giants' lead to 8 points. Brough left-footed. 8 points it is. This has been a gritty and determined show from both these sides. We know that in the past Huddersfield have started a season like this and fallen from grace. I don't want to sound like David Dickinson, but do you think that Huddersfield looked the real deal in 2013?
They're finding a way to work the way through difficult situations. And what I really like about this match, and Phil Bentham has played his part in it, he's only penalised a few times. He's only penalising when players take silly, absolute liberties, and that's what we want. We don't want the play to be stopped on every minor technicality. We want to see flowing rugby league. We want it played at this pace, at this intensity. We want to see our athletes, taken to extreme levels and work away how to work through the tough times.
Well, we've had that in abundance tonight in the 70 minutes, and there's 10 remaining. Hull have got to score twice to rescue the game, and Huddersfield will look to score again from deep here and take the 2 points, which will mean that they are 3 clear at the top of the Super League table tonight at the end of round 7 as far as they're concerned.
Boy, big hit there by Jay Pitts on the big fella, Earl Crabtree.
I don't think West Ham missed either.
No, and I must say that Paul Anderson must be pleased when he's got the ability to just take from the bench, give them a bit of a rest between Crabtree and Stuart Fielden. They've worked overtime. It's been tough for the forwards.
One bounce from Brough and the kick, and here goes Briscoe. This is a match winner.
Well, Hull have done well, haven't they? They've made a lot of meters in this game, and they'll make some more here now with this penalty. But what the Huddersfield side have shown, I think, twice this season now, Eddie, when they played at home against Wigan and again here today, in tough games, on their own line, they can handle tough times. They had to defend 8 consecutive play the balls inside their own half of the field. They prevented Hull from scoring. Similar situation when they played against Wigan earlier in the season, prevented the Warriors from getting over the try line. That's the sign of resilience, which can take you to the grand final.
So, Hull looking for the try that will set up a rip-roaring finish to what has been an absorbing contest, and Horne finds McDonnell, and McDonnell goes down on the second tackle, and inevitably it's a tackle made by Danny Brough. Richard Horne again, infield it comes to Liam Watts, and Houghton is weighing up the options left and right. He's at dummy half, and he gets the pass away to Richard Horne, who in turn finds Holdsworth. They go wide. It's Briscoe. 3 in the tackle.
Had to be scrambled defence there, and they did it well. They've got to the blind side. They'll equal to the task. They've got to be a good kick.
I'm not sure Cudjoe was in an onside position then, but anyway, here's the kick from Holdsworth. Crossfield, and Brough collected it, and he did exactly the same as McDonnell up the other end, but he got back on the right side of the whitewash.
Clever player, wasn't it, by the send-off, Danny Brough. This is not over yet, Eddie. What a great take. Look how he just goes underneath.
And Hull are hunting the mistake here. I wonder if Brough will go early in the tackle count with a kick downfield. Oh, they've got the mistake from Crabtree. They have got the mistake. He holds his hand up. Now then, this is the moment for Hull if they're going to do anything.
Just had a little glance. See the rain coming down. It's getting very slippy out there, but he knows. He took his eye off the ball, looked at the people coming at him. This is a golden opportunity now. If they've got a set pattern move, they've got to utilise it.
Discussion going on between Crabtree and Fielden. A big 7 minutes coming up here.
Will they do
Where
the
they
short?
start this from?
Sorry, Eddie. Will they do the short blind side? They are.
They're coming this way. This is Arundel. He's dumped to the ground. That's one tackle gone. Westerman.
The big question for me here now, on behalf of Hull FC, is what options they can create. Are they only going to look to make the play off Daniel Holdsworth? If so, can Huddersfield read that play and adapt to it?
Horn spreads it to McDonald. Wide they go. Briscoe is in. They're screaming for a forward pass. The Huddersfield players are appealing as well. Well, you can't judge a forward pass with the video referee, so he wants to have a look what his touch judges are saying. No try! No try, they say. Peter Gentle can't believe it. It's chalked off for a forward pass. The touch judge, who's on this near side, about 60 metres away, has called a forward pass.
Well, that's very...
And he's exactly in line with it, is what Phil Bentham's saying.
Well, it's very unusual from the opposite end. It looks as though it's bending forward, but the reason why they can't go upstairs for it, because it's always a big problem. Would that be classified as a momentum rule? It's hard to say, but either way...
Well, I thought the edict was you look at the hands and how the hands get the ball away.
Well,
and how the touch judge on this near side could see the hands, I do not know.
Precisely.
You loved a forward pass. You've been shouting forward passes for years from this box.
Yeah, but this would have set us up for a great finish.
Forward pass.
This would have set us up for a great finish. I think it was, actually. I think, to be fair to him, I think he's got that right.
Well, he's got good eyes, hasn't he? 60-odd metres away.
Mr. Martin is the touch judge who has made the biggest call of the night.
Well, we ask for contribution, we ask for concentration from all our officials, and we can't complain if he's had the strength of character to stick his head above the parapet and come up with a big call.
I don't think you will convince Peter Gentle that it was the right call.
No, he'll be fuming. Simple as that. He'll be saying, how on earth can the guy on that far side see that? Either way, they've got away with it, of the Giants.
The interesting thing was the touch judge on the side where the try was scored. I don't think he had any problem with it. It was the guy, Mr. Martin, on this near side.
Well, they're still in with a chance. Worked well as a fullback, McDonald.
Well, I've not seen that happen many times, that the man receiving it, Ben Gallier at the play of the ball, is tackled by the marker. He was appealing for offside, I think. And Horn with the kick downfield. Am I imagining things, or as a result of that decision, have Hull rather just lost a little bit of zip? This is the view of the touch judge. You can see why he's given it.
Yep.
You can see why he's given the forward pass. That was the view from behind him.
He was drifting forward.
Lund can't make any progress. 3.5 minutes to go, 8 points. Hull need to score, and quickly too.
Well, both these sides will be happy to get into the showers because they're battered and bruised.
They'll be worn out, absolutely worn out.
Eddie, that's Danny Houghton, the white number 9, his 65th tackle in the match so far. It's a fair effort, that, in defence.
Isn't it just?
And that's
65.
another great.
It is a great kick.
Yeah, and he knows it, does Danny Brough. And look how it just stands in the in-goal area.
Oh, that's good work, though. That's great work. Great work from Briscoe.
He's still
great
going.
work from Tom Briscoe. Told you he's a match winner. Has Ben Crooks got the legs? Wonderful tackle. That should be a penalty. No?
Well, no dragging. You can only penalise when they're going through. It's got to be dragged in. And they didn't. They used the shoulder charge.
I thought the tackle had been completed, and then he came across and bundled him into touch. No?
No. It was
Ben
great
Crooks
work.
is away.
Great work, though, wasn't it? By Tom Briscoe to put it there. No, his momentum his momentum was still going, and
ball carrying arm didn't hit the ground. No.
Yep.
And you have to reward great defence. Everyone
still
flooding
moving
back. ball and man still moving. Nothing wrong with that defensively whatsoever.
No, good stuff.
Well, it'll be nice and steady play now.
Well, you think so.
Luke Robinson won't be doing anything. Just puts it into the scrum, nice and steady. Danny Brough will say, leave it to me. They'll go on the blind side, will they? No. Forwards on. Another good run there. Kopchak.
On halfway. Sean Lunt gets the ball away to Lane Patrick.
Safety first.
I don't know whether Danny Brough knows safety first. 2 minutes remaining. 8 points the difference. Here's Brough. Gets the ball back to Robinson. Robinson then finds Griggs. Griggs will find Cudjoe. Tries to hand off Crooks. Does hand off Crooks. Cudjoe has got support from Griggs. And Huddersfield score another. 3 points clear at the top of the table in the middle of March. Paul Anderson is fashioning a side here that is going to have a real crack at Super League this year. It has been hard fought, this victory, because victory it is now. And Scott Griggs just makes absolutely sure, and what's more, makes it 100 career tries.
Well, the Giants have shown that they can play both parts of this game. They can defend when they have to do, and they can attack. The start of the second half was all about defending their own line. The end of the second half is about playing with some freedom, moving the ball wide, and showing us just what Leroy Cudjoe can do. Shakes away from the first defender, puts himself into space, and calmly delivers a try pass there for Scott Griggs to finish off what's been a really enjoyable afternoon, evening, if you're a Huddersfield supporter. Dreaming here now that this year, 2013 under Paul Anderson, things just might be different, and things just might be with a happy ending at the end of it.
They've shown grit and determination, and that was a great try from Scott Griggs. They haven't only shown grit and determination with a try from Murphy and that from Griggs. They've shown a little bit of skill as well. And with this fellow on the park in this sort of mood, you get the feeling that anything could happen. 24-10. It looks an easy victory. It has been anything but that. Hull have played their full part. And Paul Anderson, you are top of the table tonight. 3 points clear. Give us a smile. No, just a relieving puff of the cheeks. And he shakes hands with all his backroom staff, including Kieran Patel. A great win for the Giants.
Yeah, you don't see many people smiling 7 miles into a marathon. And there's 27 games in this marathon contest before they even get to the exciting bit of the playoffs. Danny Brough and his team need to keep their feet on the ground, but that's pretty impressive. They've